welcome back to Practice English with Podcast. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Adam. Thanks for joining us today for another episode where we help you practice your English in a fun and natural way.
Today, we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics, hobbies. You know, those activities we love to do in our free time.
That's right, Jessica. Hobbies are such a great conversation starter, aren't they? When you meet someone new, one of the first questions people ask is, what do you like to do for fun?
Exactly. And I have to say, I'm really excited about this topic because I have so many hobbies. Sometimes I think I have too many.
Laughs. Well, that's better than having no hobbies at all, right?
Today, we're going to learn useful vocabulary, common phrases, and practice some conversations about hobbies.
Plus, we'll share some of our own hobbies with you. I think you'll be surprised by some of Adam's interests.
Oh no, Jessica. Don't give away all my secrets yet.
Laughs. Okay, everyone, let's get started.
So, Adam, before we start talking about specific hobbies, let's go over some basic vocabulary. What's the difference between a hobby and an interest?
Great question, Jessica. A hobby is something you do regularly in your free time for pleasure. For example, I play guitar as a hobby. An interest is something you like or want to know more about. You might say, I have an interest in photography.
Perfect. So you can be interested in something without actually doing it as a hobby. Like, I'm interested in rock climbing, but I don't actually go rock climbing regularly.
Exactly. Now, let's look at some common verbs we use when talking about hobbies. Jessica, can you give us some examples?
Sure. We often use these verbs: play, do, go, collect, watch, read to, and make. For example, I play tennis. I do yoga. I go hiking.
And don't forget practice. I practice piano every evening. The verb you choose depends on the activity. Some are easy to remember. You play most sports and games.
Right. You play football, basketball, chess, video games. But be careful. We don't say play yoga. We say do yoga.
Good point. And with activities that involve movement or travel, we often use go. Go swimming, go shopping, go dancing.
Let's practice this together. I'll say a hobby, and you can think about which verb to use. Ready? Cooking.
Well, we usually say, I like cooking or I enjoy cooking. Sometimes I do cooking, but that sounds a bit formal.
How about collecting stamps?
I collect stamps. That's an easy one.
Okay, one more. Gardening.
I do gardening or simply I garden. Both are correct.
Now let's talk about some popular hobbies. Adam, what are some hobbies that lots of people enjoy?
Well, reading is probably one of the most common hobbies around the world. People love reading books, magazines, or even articles online.
Oh, yes, and watching movies or TV shows. Netflix has made this hobby even more popular, hasn't it?
Definitely. Binge watching has become a real hobby for many people. Then there are sports. Both playing and watching sports are huge hobbies.
And let's not forget music. Some people play instruments. Others just love listening to music. I know so many people whose hobby is discovering new bands or going to concerts.
Music is such a universal hobby. And cooking. More and more people are getting into cooking as a hobby, not just something they have to do.
Oh, I love that one. There's something so satisfying about trying a new recipe. What about creative hobbies, Adam?
Great question. Drawing, painting, photography, writing, these are all popular creative hobbies. And with smartphones, photography has become much more accessible.
Yes, everyone's a photographer now with Instagram. And don't forget about crafts, knitting, sewing, making jewelry. My mom's hobby is quilting, and she makes the most beautiful blankets.
That sounds lovely. And we should mention outdoor hobbies too. Hiking, camping,
fishing, bird watching. These are especially popular with people who want to spend time in nature.
And for people who like to stay active, there's dancing, yoga, martial arts, cycling, so many options.
Now, let's learn some useful phrases for talking about hobbies. Jessica, what are some ways to ask someone about their hobbies?
Well, the most direct way is, what are your hobbies? But we can also ask, what do you like to do in your free time? Or what do you do for fun?
Those sound much more natural in conversation. You might also hear, what are you into? This is a bit more casual and means, what are you interested in?
Oh, that's a good one. And when someone asks you, how can you answer? You could say, I'm into or I'm really into. For example, I'm really into photography.
Or you can say, I enjoy or I love, like I enjoy reading mystery novels or I love playing chess.
And if you want to show you're really passionate about something, you can say, I'm passionate about, or I'm crazy about. Like, I'm crazy about salsa dancing.
I can imagine you saying that, Jessica. Now, what if you want to ask someone how long they've been doing a hobby?
You can ask, how long have you been? For example, how long have you been playing guitar? And to answer, you say, I've been playing guitar for 3 years, or I've been playing guitar since I was 10.
Perfect. And if you want to know how often someone does their hobby, you can ask, how often do you? The answer might be every day, twice a week, on weekends, or whenever I have time.
What about when you want to show interest in someone's hobby? What can you say?
Great question. You can say, that sounds interesting, or that's cool, or I've always wanted to try that. These responses show you're engaged in the conversation.
And if someone mentions a hobby you also enjoy, you can say, I do that too, or we have that in common, or really? I love doing that as well.
All right, everyone. Now let's practice with a dialogue. Jessica and I will have a conversation about our hobbies, and you can listen to how we use the vocabulary and phrases we just learned.
Sounds good. Okay, Adam, so what do you like to do in your free time?
Well, I'm really into hiking. I try to go hiking at least once every weekend. There are so many beautiful trails here, and I love being in nature.
That sounds amazing. How long have you been hiking?
I've been hiking for about 8 years now. I started when I moved here because I wanted to explore the area. What about you, Jessica? What are your hobbies?
Oh, I have quite a few. I'm really passionate about dancing. I take salsa classes twice a week, and I also love photography.
Dancing and photography? That's an interesting combination. How did you get into salsa dancing?
Well, a friend invited me to a class about 2 years ago, and I just fell in love with it. The music, the movement, the energy, it's so much fun. And photography has been a hobby since I was a teenager.
That's great. Do you have a favorite type of photography?
I love taking pictures of people and street photography. I always have my camera with me when I'm walking around the city. You never know what interesting moment you might capture.
It's really cool. I've always wanted to try photography, but I'm not sure where to start.
You should definitely give it a try. You could start with your phone camera, or maybe take a beginner's class. Since you love hiking, you'd probably enjoy landscape photography.
That's a great idea. I never thought about combining my hobbies like that. Okay, everyone, did you notice how we use the phrases we just learned? We asked, what do you like to do in your free time? And how long have you been hiking? We also used expressions like, I'm really into, and I'm passionate about.
And notice how we showed interest in each other's hobbies by asking follow-up questions and making encouraging comments like, that sounds amazing, and that's really cool.
Exactly. Good conversations about hobbies aren't just about listing what you do. They're about showing genuine interest in the other person.
Now we want to share some of our actual hobbies with you. Adam, why don't you start?
Sure. Well, I really am into hiking, as I mentioned in our practice dialogue, but I also have some hobbies that might surprise you. I love cooking, especially trying recipes from different countries.
Ooh, that's so cool. What's your favorite type of cuisine to cook?
I'm really into Asian cuisine right now. I've been experimenting with Thai and Vietnamese dishes. There's something so satisfying about making a complex curry from scratch.
I had no idea you were such a chef. What got you interested in cooking?
Well, when I first moved away from home, I got tired of eating the same simple meals every day. So I started watching cooking videos online and just experimented. Now it's become a real passion.
That's awesome. I love how hobbies can develop naturally like that. Okay, my turn. So I mentioned dancing and photography, and those are definitely real hobbies of mine. But I also have a hobby that some people find a bit unusual.
Oh, this should be interesting. What is it?
I collect vintage postcards. I know it sounds a bit old-fashioned, but I love finding old postcards from different places and eras. Each one tells us a little story.
That's actually really fascinating. How did you get into that?
I found an old shoebox of postcards at a flea market about 5 years ago. They were from the 1950s and 60s, and I was amazed by the messages people wrote to each other. It made me think about communication before email and text messages.
Wow, that's like holding little pieces of history. How big is your collection now?
I have about 300 postcards from all over the world. Some are funny, some are romantic, and some are just everyday messages. But they all give you a glimpse into people's lives from decades ago.
That's incredible, Jessica. That's what I love about hobbies. They can connect us to history, to other cultures, to different ways of seeing the world.
Exactly. And speaking of connection, Adam, don't you also have a hobby that connects you with people?
Oh, yes, I play chess. I joined a local chess club about 3 years ago, and now I play every Thursday evening with a group of people from all different backgrounds and ages.
That's so nice. Is it competitive or more social?
It's both, really. We take the game seriously, but there's a lot of friendly conversation, too. I've made some really good friends through chess. There's this one guy, Roberto, who's 70 years old, and he always beats me, but he's so patient about explaining strategy.
Aw, that sounds wonderful. It's amazing how hobbies can bring different generations together.
Jessica, listening to you talk about your postcards makes me want to try collecting something, too. I think our listeners might be wondering, how do you find a new hobby?
Great question. I think the best way is to try things that interest you, even if you're not sure you'll like them. Don't be afraid to be a beginner.
Absolutely. And you can start small. You don't need to buy expensive equipment right away. For photography, start with your phone. For cooking, try simple recipes with ingredients you already have.
Yes, and ask your friends and family about their hobbies. Maybe they can teach you or invite you to join them. That's how I got into salsa dancing, remember?
That's such a good point. Learning with a friend makes it more fun and less intimidating. You can also look for beginner classes in your community. Libraries, community centers, and schools often offer affordable classes.
And don't forget about online resources. YouTube has tutorials for almost any hobby you can imagine. I learned basic guitar chords from YouTube videos.
Wait, Jessica, you play guitar too? How many hobbies do you have?
Okay. I only know like 5 chords, but that's my point. You don't have to be perfect to enjoy a hobby. Sometimes I just play those 5 chords while I'm relaxing at home.
That's exactly right. Hobbies should be enjoyable, not stressful. If you're not having fun, maybe it's not the right hobby for you, and that's perfectly okay.
And remember, hobbies can change over time. You might be really into something for a few years, then discover something new. I used to be obsessed with making jewelry, but now I rarely do it.
That's normal. Our interests evolve as we grow and have different experiences. The important thing is to keep trying new things and stay curious.
You know, Adam, I think hobbies can tell us a lot about different cultures too. Some hobbies are popular in certain countries, but not others.
That's so true. For example, in many Asian countries, playing board games like Go or Mahjong is much more common than in Western countries. And in some places, activities like calligraphy are popular hobbies.
Right. And I've noticed that in some cultures, group hobbies are more popular, things you do with family or friends. While in other cultures,
individual hobbies are more common.
Exactly. And climate affects hobbies too. In countries with long winters, indoor hobbies like reading, crafts, or board games might be more popular. In tropical countries, you might find more water sports and outdoor activities.
That makes so much sense. And I think economic factors play a role too. Some hobbies are expensive, like golf or sailing, while others are very affordable, like walking or drawing.
Good point, Jessica. That's why it's important to remember that there's no right hobby. The best hobby is one that makes you happy and fits your lifestyle and budget.
And speaking of different cultures, I love how hobbies can help you learn about different cultures. When I was learning salsa dancing, I also learned about Latin American culture and music.
That's beautiful. And when I cook different cuisines, I often research the history and traditions behind the dishes. Hobbies can be educational too.
Exactly. They're not just fun. They can expand your knowledge and understanding of the world.
Before we finish today, let's talk about some common mistakes English learners make when discussing hobbies.
Oh, yes. One mistake I hear often is with verb choices. Remember, we play sports and games, but we do activities like yoga or martial arts.
Right, so it's I play tennis, not I do tennis. But it's I do karate, not I play karate.
Another mistake is saying, my hobby is cook, instead of my hobby is cooking. After my hobby is, you need the ing form of the verb.
Good one. And be careful with prepositions. We say I'm interested in photography, not I'm interested for photography.
Oh, and here's a tricky one. The difference between funny and fun. We say chess is fun, not chess is funny. Funny means it makes you laugh. Fun means you enjoy it.
Excellent point. And remember, when someone asks about your hobbies, don't just give a short answer like reading. Try to add a bit more information. I enjoy reading, especially mystery novels.
Yes, conversations flow better when you give detailed answers and ask follow-up questions. Don't just answer. Show interest in the other person's hobbies, too.
All right, let's do a quick practice exercise. I'll give you some scenarios, and you can think about how you would respond. Ready?
Great idea. Okay, first scenario. Someone asks you, what do you like to do on weekends? How would you answer this question? Think about it for a moment.
Remember to give a complete answer with some details. You might say something like, I enjoy going hiking with my friends. We usually explore different trails around the city.
Perfect. Next scenario. Someone tells you, I collect old coins. How do you respond to show interest?
You could say, that's really interesting. How did you get started with that? Or, wow, that's cool. What's the oldest coin you have?
Excellent. One more scenario. Someone asks, how often do you practice piano? Think about how you would structure your answer.
You might say, I try to practice every evening for about 30 minutes. Or, I practice piano 3 times a week, usually after work.
Great. These kinds of detailed answers make conversations much more interesting and natural.
Before we wrap up today's episode, let's talk about why hobbies are so important. Jessica, what do you think are the main benefits of having hobbies?
Well, first of all, hobbies help us relax and reduce stress. After a long day of work or studying, doing something you enjoy can really help you unwind.
Absolutely. And hobbies can help us learn new skills. Even if you're doing something just for fun, you're still developing abilities that might be useful in other areas of life.
That's so true. And hobbies are a great way to meet new people. Whether you join a club, take a class, or just talk to people who share your interests, hobbies can help you build friendships.
Plus, hobbies give us a sense of accomplishment. When you finish a book, complete a painting, or learn a new song, you feel proud of what you've achieved.
And let's not forget that hobbies make life more interesting. They give you something to look forward to and stories to share with others.
Exactly. Having hobbies makes you a more well-rounded person and gives you more to talk about in conversations.
And for English learners specifically, hobbies can be a great way to practice English. You can join English-speaking hobby groups, watch videos about your hobby in English, or read about your interests in English.
That's an excellent point, Jessica. Your hobbies can actually help you improve your English skills while you're having fun.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We've covered a lot of ground talking about hobbies.
We certainly have. We learned useful vocabulary, practiced common phrases, and even shared some of our own hobbies with you.
I hope this episode has inspired you to try something new or maybe given you some ideas for talking about your hobbies in English.
Remember, the key to talking about hobbies is to be enthusiastic and show genuine interest in what others enjoy doing.
And don't forget to practice. Try having conversations about hobbies with your English-speaking friends or classmates.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to subscribe to our channel and leave us a comment about your hobbies. We love hearing from our listeners.
Yes! Tell us what you like to do in your free time or if you tried any new hobbies after listening to this episode.
Thanks for listening to Practice English with Podcast. I'm Adam.
And I'm Jessica. We'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.